Hello and welcome into Sorare with Laird. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdino on Sorare. Here today to talk about the Arena. New game mode, kind of, at least for this week and maybe one more week. I can't even remember. And I've had like a ton of different thoughts on it. And I wanted to kind of just discuss them today. Why not? Thanks everyone for coming in. Oh, looks like I was first. How about that? Matthew, Mikey Baston, and Jay Vic on the podium. Jay Vic, I'll give you that third spot. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. And that's right, Mike. Wasn't late. I actually started slightly early just for you. But yeah, thanks for coming in. It's a slightly earlier time today because I just felt like streaming early today. But also, I've got an MFL game coming at 12 or 12 o'clock my time. It starts in 54 minutes. And I'm excited about it. And so yeah, I figured we'd hang out here for an hour and then I'll go watch my match. First of two today, actually. So yeah, the Arena is live in the lobby now on Sorare, and I still don't really know how I feel about it. It reminds me a lot, like the gameplay reminds me a lot of, like cash games in daily fantasy sports. And after a while, I got kind of sick of those. But I kind of got sick of daily fantasy sports as a whole anyway. And that was part of my problem with Rivals when you really had to like grind it, that it felt like my experience with DFS, and I just didn't want to do that, even though I thought Rivals was a really fun game. And I've seen a bunch of stuff on Twitter today about how Sorare should have kept Rivals around, but it is what it is. But the Arena, yeah, I keep going back and forth, facing 9 people. You have to use Essence to get in. Only 3 people will win more Essence than they submitted. You otherwise can win XP, which doesn't apply in the Arena, but you can use in your pro comps to win more Essence to enter more Arena matches. It's all a big, I was going to call it a circle. I don't even know if it is a circle, but there's a lot going on. And, but I don't mind it. And I think the way that I was kind of looking at it originally was it's going to be this like side game. And it's like, oh, here's a place you can play your classic cards. And, the more places you can use your classic cards that aren't in regular classic competitions means that theoretically those competitions are a little easier. If I played my best cards in the Arena, then they're not in Contender Classic Division 1. But then it's kind of like, well, are the rewards good enough to put your best cards in there? And, some people are going to have to figure that out. I do feel like some people will use not necessarily leftovers, because there was some, I forget which Discord it was in, but somebody's like, yeah, maybe I'll throw my leftovers in the Arena. But I'm not sure people are going to be spending Essence to just throw lineups in. But maybe they will. I don't know. It's not like, a non-relegation all-star where it's like there's no downside to entering, but it is something. We'll see. Javik said it's a burn mechanism for unwanted Essence. Well, I think it would be that case if you could choose which Essence you were using to enter, but because you can't. And actually, Harry and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, specifically Yippee-Ki-Yay, who doesn't play contender competitions because they don't want contender Essence. It's for somebody that like primarily plays champ, you're going to be basically using champ essence to get into the arena and then getting neutral essence out. And that feels like a downgrade for those people. But for somebody like me who gets a lot of contender essence, although that's not what I have most of right now, but for someone that does, it kind of reduces the amount of contender essence I get for neutral, although still the more contender essence I hold kind of increases the neutral. I mean, the neutral kind of increases the contender. I don't know. But it's live in the lobby now, available, as we know, in limited and rare. I don't know why it's not available in super rare and unique. Part of it, I think, is because this is just a test for now, which is fine and is what it is. But there are a couple people that I know who primarily play super rare or just play super rare, and they were like, "Man, this would be really cool for super rare." And if this is a success in this game week, I forget what the other game week was they were going to do it, if it was next week or the week after. But if it's successful, I hope that they do kind of open it up for super rare as well, because I almost feel like I'm more likely to try to compete in the arena with my super rare cards than in regular competitions. Now, granted, I don't even have that much essence. I have 7 super rare essence. Oh, sorry, this 760 is driving me nuts. Does anybody know if I use all my common essence and then I scrap all my cards, will that get rid of this common essence showing? Anyway, so yeah, I'm just very curious, and my curiosity led me to the uh, matchup page on Sorare Data to kind of see like what were the best matchups this week, and like I have two, like, I have Douglas Santos and Wendell from Zenit, and it feels absolutely wild to use those cards in the arena, but if I'm just winning, like I'm probably not podiuming contender this week. I guess we could figure it out quickly. Let's find out. Contender Classic, and that's assuming I don't use one of those cards in season. I tend not to, but let's see. So we've got River Plate at home against Velez. There's Douglas Santos. I'll throw Wendell in as well. Looks like Marvin Vonacek has a great matchup. Maybe I am winning. And that's always the forward. There's just nobody here. Tony Watt, maybe. Good old Benny. Yeah, so like even if, I mean, I guess Daniele Verde is the highest rated guy, and then who do we have left? We'll put in Marvin. So theoretically, this lineup is strong for contender D1, which could win $600 and a star, I guess. But sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes you have the best contender cards and they just don't win. Matthew was saying, do they fit within the cap 260? I can't imagine that lineup does, but it was more, do I want to even use these cards in the arena? Yeah, I mean, Wendell might be able to. He's been god awful recently. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I mean, surely they don't. Here we go. Always show cost. Yeah, Douglas Santos at 64 probably doesn't fit, or Vonacek. Yeah, Wendell's only 53, which is reasonable. But I don't know, like maybe we'll see more stacks. Maybe this is where I'll play my Sanfrecce guys, since they just infuriate me playing in regular competitions. So let's see. Show. And I'm doing this is Wednesday. Whoops. It's Wednesday, so none of like the power grades are in, or the Sorare inside lineup projections, but we'll just see for a second. There's no way that anyone from Sanfrecce would not fit very comfortably in a cap 250 mode. So let's see. What do we have left? 54 per position. Barco's probably too good. Krastev away to NAC. That's fun. Chalanoglu against Verona. Like, are you really going to use these guys here? Forward's always going to be the hard part here. Let's see. Maybe we just slap Messi in there. Let's see. Ghent at USG. Gaetan Perrin is a great matchup this week. I really don't want to use him here. Bongonda, maybe. 58. That's high. Oh, Cecilia. Yay. there anyone low? Like if Tadic starts, oh, they're playing Besiktas. We don't want that. Bernardeschi against New England. And that leaves us 55 points. Is there like a quick button? Show players within cap. Let's go. And that didn't seem to work. Okay. Anyway, so we got to go down to 55. Teji, yeah, he's not going to play. Vinny Souza, that would be fun. This is just like the most classic of classic lineups, right? Vinny Souza is just like the definition of a classic card now. A good old remember when, and then we just captain Sho Sasaki. Is this worth 10 essence? I wonder if I get my essence back if I submit this and then I want to cancel it. Does anybody know that? I don't know that. But yeah, like would I rather enter this lineup in the arena for 10 essence, of which I have, I don't remember how much rare essence I have. I have 116 rare essence. So if I use this, I can still stay above the 100, although I don't think I'm crafting anytime soon. Andrea said you can't cancel. Okay. I assume you can edit your lineup, you just can't cancel. That seems very weird that you can't cancel. But I guess they don't want to have to deal with refunding essence, I guess. I don't know. It seems pretty easy to me. But I also don't code anything. So we'll see. Bit behind, but if you scrap all common cards and essence, we'll still be left with small essence balance. I'm fine with having a small essence balance if it's common. I just don't want to keep looking down here and seeing 995 and then realizing 760 is common. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do. To be honest, I craft limited cards so infrequently that I would probably just do 10 arena to get rid of this essence if I had it. If I could go that high. I think you can only do 7. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how like fruitful this experiment is because I was commenting to somebody. Obviously, you 5x your essence if you win your group of 10. Sir Ben said I entered 6 limited and 6 rare. So then 2.5x for second place, 1.5x for third place, and then otherwise, if you finish in the top half, you're just converting your essence into XP, of which you can see I really use a lot of here. I really should use that 7,000 XP, but again, it's not helpful for the arena. And then yeah, maybe you're in one of those 20 golden arenas in rare that gets you 200 essence, or 50 golden arenas for limited that gets you 200. But yeah, I don't know. It's a maybe you'll be entered into the golden arena content creator luck. Maybe, knowing my luck, I would get entered into it and then finish dead last. But yeah, I wonder how many people will do it this game week. And I think one of the things about Sorare recently is that I don't pay attention at all to how much essence I win. Like I see it and I'm just like, okay, but I never really go out of my way to be like, man, I would like to win some essence. I mean, obviously I want to finish as high as possible, but looking at this weekend, like I don't even know where how much you can win. Contender, let's say Contender Classic Rare, like that Division 1, that Wendell, Douglas Santos, all that stuff. 7 essence is the most I can win with that lineup in Classic. And no, this is in season. Didn't I hit Classic? Sorry. So 7 essence if you finish between 132nd and the top 20%. So obviously there is upside here in terms of winning a tier 4, tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, or star card. But even those cards in Contender are not great. Like I imagine every tier 3 is just completely unusable. I clicked on this as if I was going to have any knowledge of who these people are, although I do have an Anthony Ralston, so I know he's not going to play. He never plays. But so really you have to finish in the top 42 to get a card that maybe plays. I don't know who these guys are. Oh, there's Hoy Brayton. Still all capped. Nahuel Noel is terrible, but he's a U23, I guess. There's Cavani. Oh, Paulo Diaz. Barish Atik is here. That seems like he's way too good. There's Acuna, Calidio. All right. I know some of these guys at least. But anyway, so you have to finish in the top 42 to get a card. Like, I would almost rather win 7 Essence than a tier 4 or tier 3 contender rare. And if that's the case, and the most Essence I can win is 7, why not just enter the arena where I only have to beat 7 people, 6 people to get more? 7 people, excuse me. I have to beat 7 people to get more than double what I would get in Contender Division 1. Now, granted, it cost me 10 Essence to enter. Let's not forget that. But from a contender standpoint, man. And I get to, and the Essence I win is neutral Essence and not, geez, I should just do that. We know some content creators are going into the golden arenas for sure. I mean, so the conspiracy is great, but they totally should. Let people who tell the Sorare stories actually be able to tell a story. Anyway, Matthew said, do you think they will use this arena format in the future, but with cash and card prizes to make it more interesting? Would certainly be more attractive compared to just Essence now. I don't think that they will, because you really only have to, like, you're not competing against that many people. Like, I'm not sure you deserve a card. So this is where it sounds weird. I don't know if you deserve a card for beating 9 people, but theoretically, or 8 people, because you can craft right here. If you finish in the top 2, you can craft a card immediately. And so they kind of are giving out cards already. Vivek said, I can see them using this format, but everyone enters cards instead of Essence. I actually don't see that. I don't think that will ever happen. I think that's literally gambling. And now this is all just kind of gambling, or looks like gambling, but may not be gambling. Oh, we got a little notification. Oh, arena kicks off tomorrow. Look at that. It's like they knew we were talking about it. Classic cards allowed 100. What does that mean? Like, you could just do classic cards? Here we go. The next game week. Oh, it is the following weekend. All right. So 2 straight weekend lineups. 1 epic prize pool. Holty says you are only winning 5, 15, and 40. Doesn't seem worth it to me. Yeah, I mean, that's, if you don't think it's worth it for you, then that's fair. It's more like, what else are you winning more with your cards anyway? Like, I wonder if this is a more reasonable, or a more reasonable way to win Essence. Now, I think that what the difficulty is going to be, and this is Sorare's difficulty, not anything we have to worry about. We only have to worry about making, that they get it right, is people are going to be trying to figure out the best ways to get Essence, right? Because you need Essence to enter the arena, but you also need Essence to craft cards. And the more cards you craft, the less you can get into the arena. But I mean, if you look at the where's that arena one if you enter 7 times this game week, right? Like, you can win 300 Essence. Now, granted, it costs you 70 Essence to get in there. And at 70 right now, you can craft cards. But if you enter 7 times and you win, you come in first place in all of them, you're getting a tier 4 plus, and you're immediately making it a tier 2 plus. Now, again, that's assuming you win all of them, which you probably won't. But there is like a way that you can accumulate quite a lot of essence right away. And while that's exciting, it's also okay. Well, does Sorare have enough cards if people are getting this much essence, but maybe not that many people are getting it? That's the balancing act that they're going to have to figure out. Is are people winning essence too quickly and then crafting all the higher tier cards? And I do wonder if this becomes a regular game mode, essentially, will they cap how many times you can enter? Presumably you're capped at the number of essences you have, but yeah, I don't know how that cycle actually works of win essence or use essence to win essence to use essence to win essence to craft cards to use essence to win like whatever. But maybe it's a fun game loop. Who knows? I think a lot of people like the idea of smaller competitions. 10 people is really not that many, particularly in compared to classic classic limited ones that have thousands of entries. And you're lucky to win 15 essence, and now you just have to beat 9 people. And if you finish in the top half and don't win essence, you get XP to help your classic cards in the regular classic competitions, which you can win essence from. What's the prize pool look like for limited in terms of winning essence? Like content, or I'll even look at champ. I don't care. Champ Classic Limited. It's a fun competition. D1, man, stop doing that. D1, you can win 10 essence if you finish in the top 20 or 552 to 20%. Like there's your entry right there. What's the in-season gap here? 51st to 650th. Somebody posted something the other day. I think that it was like the difference between, I forget which competition it was. Maybe it was champ. I don't know. But the point difference between 51st and 650th was, I think, over 100 points, and they won the same. And it was just like, I would love them to fix that. Now I'm going to have to look at this notification on every single screen. Yep, I get it. I got it. But yeah, I think the idea is cool. And as somebody who will be playing Contender throughout the summer, being able to presumably convert my Contender essence to neutral essence is an interesting concept. And that's if they run more of these. I don't know. Like, did the announcement say it's basically just we're going to try this out. Here we go. This is a test phase. After that, we'll review the feedback to iterate and bring exciting improvements to this mode. So we don't really know. I mean, I would assume that if it is successful, they'll launch it for the 2025-26 European season. But like, I don't know why you wouldn't do that timing. And yeah, it's just like a different way to play that could be very attractive, and obviously takes the focus away from not winning cards in classic competitions and being able to use your essence for something else. What I would really love, and it's only because we get so much more of it, is to like use XP to win essence. That would be fun. Take 100 XP from me. And I didn't even know I owned this card. Where did that even come from? Did I win that card? Oh, I crafted it. Oh, I won it. Where would I have won that? All-Star, maybe? I don't even know. Never heard of that guy. Bjorn Inge Udvik. Huh. Yeah. All right. But yeah, I think that's the the way that I don't know. I don't know how much I'll play this week. I wish I could save lineups and then submit Essence later. I'm certainly not going to use super rares to win an arena match. Would enter it with cash, $10, 10-pound buy-ins. I think that's gambling. That's literally how daily fantasy sports works. Everyone puts money in, and the winner gets the money. Let's see. I was going to put in. Yeah, I don't know. The cap is kind of nice. The total lack of XP, I get it, but it's just kind of funny to me because it, like a lot of us who have been around a while, like I have a ton of level 10 cards, and the fact that they're just completely neutered in this is funny to me. I wonder if Driuzzi is going to play. I'm not going to use in-season cards here. Maybe I will. Maybe, oh, that would actually be fun if you could win cash if you used in-season cards, although I don't think they really care about getting in-season cards out of in-season competitions. But yeah, I'll probably play around, probably in limited, just although it's funny, for how little I craft limited cards, I would almost be wanting to win limited essence just to keep playing the arena, but ultimately I'm just winning more essence that I'll never actually craft. I mean, I guess I will craft at some point. You know, if I get high enough, if I'm successful enough in the arena and I can get like a tier 1 of mostly neutral essence, maybe I will craft and then sell. Like right now for my limited 53% neutral, 53.57% technically, 22% MLS, 20% contender, and 4.5% challenger. God, I'm so bad at challenger. The rare one, I didn't think my contender was that high. Oh, I'm wrong. 65% neutral, 25% contender, 6.9% challenger, and 2.59% MLS. So if I could use the arena to get contender down to, I don't know. We don't know what they take. Like, do they just take everything? And not like everything, but like, do they take away from everyone? Yeah. I mean, I assume anyone who has contender essence, not anybody, probably not Hoodwink, but most people would just use their contender essence to enter the arena and then take the neutral, like win the neutral. But there's no way I'm like, it takes me much longer to get rare essence, and like a very good of like a tier 1 is so far away. I'll probably go, craft it at 250, but even then I'm still a long way from there. And you can make the argument, well, the arena is the way to get up faster, but I'm much more willing to kind of risk the limited essence just to see how the game works. Essence laundering for the win. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Essence laundering. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious, as I'm sure Sorare are, of how many people take it seriously. And it's one of those things that will give us a better idea of what, not necessarily of what people want to win, but I think the only essence reward pools that we've seen, like essence only, or like essence was the best, were those pick your target comps, right? Otherwise, it was all just part of the regular prize pool when you didn't win a card or cash. And so this will give people a better idea of like how much do they really want to compete for 50 essences? Which, like, 50 is a decent amount. If you got 50 out of a box or something like that, you'd be stoked. And now you can just compete for that much and potentially up to 200 essence. And you don't have to like, yeah, the idea that you're going to see a lot of like throwaway lineups, I think is confused because this is the first time where people have to actually sacrifice something to play, meaning they have to cash in their like 10 essence in order to even enter. And that's one thing we have just never done on Sorare before. And that was one of the things that drew me to Sorare and drew a lot of people to Sorare. Buy your cards and everything is free to enter. And while this is, you can't buy essence, so like you're not paying to enter, but it is something that you've won from the game. You paid to win these things, and now you're using those just to participate, not even to guarantee a win or something like that. And not to say that I think everybody should be guaranteed something, but top half, top half gets something. Converting essence to XP feels less like you're winning something, but I don't know. Yeah. Holty said, great episode with Harry yesterday. I only finished the end today. Harry's mom brought him 100 odd chocolate bars and he's pissed I didn't send him any. Kika said, doesn't sound much different than spending energy in baseball. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Although I think the big difference is that if you spend energy in baseball, or spending energy in baseball gives you access to the absolute best prizes, and this very much does not. But in terms of spending something that you've won, you're absolutely right about that. But also, there are competitions in Sorare MLB that guarantee you energy to use a classic card in competitions, and there's nowhere where you're like guaranteed essence. So I don't know. We'll see. Because yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. And what's funny is that the funny thing about it is we're going to have this for two game weeks basically, and I wonder if the kind of user patterns would be way different without knowing it was only two, meaning if they just announced this and then it became kind of part of the regular gameplay. But meaning I wonder if people will treat these 2 game weeks differently than if it becomes something that's very regular. And obviously that's not something that Sorare can know ahead of time, at least. Holy said, one thing I'd love on the next announcement is Scottish Prem to Challenger. I don't think there's anything in the Scottish Prem that justifies them going to Challenger. That's all. So spending energy in daily may be the closer analogy. Yeah, that could be Kika. You're not far off on that. I don't think I've spent any energy on daily, so that's why I haven't really thought of it that much. But yeah, that's fair. Would make Contender better. Contender's fine. Celtic don't ruin Contender as much as people think. And it's definitely not the SPFL. It's literally just Celtic. Like they have some game weeks, just like Bayern ruin Champ sometimes. Like it happens in some game weeks. And you just hope that Quinny makes all the money that week. That's all. So yeah, I don't know how much. I'll definitely enter the arena in limited, and it'll come down to whether I want to essentially sacrifice my Contender classic lineups. And I can assure you, I'm perfectly fine with that. So I almost only want to use Contender cards in the arena. What else? Where was I? I guess I could just see which And I actually don't have the same limited, like I can't make this lineup in limited. I don't have Douglas Santos or Wendell, but let's see. So we still have Armani. Yeah, I mean, I can still do Armani. Paulo Diaz, I think, is still out. BR4 said Scotland have overtook Denmark in the coefficient, so the Danish league should most likely get moved to contender. I don't think they're moving leagues just for that reason. Like, and that's not like the Danish Superliga should definitely be in Challenger. Like those cards suck. Trust me. But they don't contender doesn't like I don't see the justification for the switch, genuinely. They're just kind of both like okay leagues, except one has like an overwhelmingly dominant team, while the other one has has lots of parity. Every team in the Superliga is bad. And now you guys want like arguably the most dominant team on the platform in Challenger. I'm not sure why anybody, unless you have those cards, I don't know why you would otherwise want it. Anyway. Janssen, he's not been great, but that's a fine. 62 though. Jurisic, look at him. He's been good. He got me relegated last week. MMD's been terrible, but he also only costs 51. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely make a lineup for 5. Let's see, MMD. I usually use Verde in season. Like he's my in season card of classic. Hergota is not that a tough matchup. Man, contender. Cecina really still out? God. Neymar's still out. This is ugly. But I should have no problem at least building a lineup. Look at Matinho for Basel. That's so funny. That is an in-season card, though, so maybe I don't. I don't know. I need Sorare data to build my lineups for me. We'll see. Jono, what's up? Good luck to you today on the first matches of the MFL season. There's also an opportunity for a lot of strategy with it being All-Star and Classic. The cost of holding a Classic card for one game week is basically only the tax and the risk of injury. The cost of holding a Classic card for one game week. You mean like, I mean, are you talking about going out and buying Classic cards? I'm really struggling to see people buying cards for this. Oh, look, I can make myself a little bigger. Speaking of things on the screen right here, if anybody wants to further support all of the content that you guys consume, at least some of you do this already, but if you could, let me point that way, join the community on Patreon, patreon.com/Andrew M. Laird. There's a link in the description of this video if you want to, give a little more for the content that comes out on this channel or MFL with Laird every day. Source Samurai, didn't realize this live stream was happening right now. Glad I can catch the last half. Sam, I think you got an email about it. You can buy cards each week for the best matchups in L15, etc. Yeah, Andreas, I just don't. I'm struggling to see people do that for 50 essence. Sure, people might not want to, but there's definitely a chance to make a good essence farming strategy if you're willing to put the time in. Yeah, I think if you're somebody who wants to win essence, this is probably the best way to do it. You're risking your essence to do it, but there are very, 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 very few spots, and there might be none in a regular game week where you can win 50 essence. I don't in limited. I don't think there's anywhere, right? I mean, I guess the boxes in All-Star, I haven't seen what those look like. Where my create crazy lineups. There we go. So in limited, in the best box that you can get. Oh, okay. So you can't 2% chance at 50. That's fair. The so you have to finish between 226th and 5% in All-Star Limited to then have a 2% chance at 50 essence and a 5% chance at 10, which seems pretty low. And so if you just did it, I keep losing the if you just did it through the arena where you just beat 9 people or 8 people and you get 25. That's a good point. Pranksy said, or Jono, people won't like it, but this new mode is perfect for big galleries. So, but Jono, like, are you going to put cards in there that are probably, I don't want to say they're too good for the arena, but are you going to put cards in there that you normally would put in a regular competition? And if the answer is you would rather play this than the classic comps, I get it. I mean, I was just talking about that for Contender, and it's possible, I guess. Yeah. Andre said 50 essence is a lot at the start of a season. You can reasonably assume that a tier 4 in essence and rare is worth at least 30 euros on average. Well, it depends where it's coming from. A tier 4 in Contender is literally never worth 30 euros. Tier 1s are barely 30 euros. Sam, you're right. I should have put this in the live chat or the live stream channel. Let me do it right now, and then I'll pretend it's been there the whole time. All right. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Sam is in the So Rare with Laird Discord, which is open to all Patreon members. And there we go. See, it's in there, Sam. Anyway, so there's so much excess in this gallery, it won't be an issue to be competitive. Also gives me more essence content. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I would argue that there are big galleries on the platform, and then there's yours. And so I'm not sure. I don't even know how many big galleries are left on the platform, to be honest. Bob said MLS Classic gives essence. Maybe next European season we have a better way to get essence. Yeah, I guess so. They could do the MLS method of not rewarding cards below tier 2 and only giving essence, which kind of makes sense, but also just makes me feel like any tier 3 craft means you're definitely getting a tier 3. But for those of you who don't play MLS, the classic comp, so like limited, is a star, a tier 1, and then it's just essence. But it's like 100 essence 21st through 30th is basically a tier 3 or tier 3, right? Yeah, tier 3. So, I mean, it is what it is. Limited essence crafts go back to the community. So if I win, the community does too. I'm sure they'll feel a lot better when you beat them in the arena, that at least the card's going back to the community. You may have already said this earlier, but for me, I definitely play this over Classic Contender for a while to see if I can make essence over time, as you need a tier 1 plus in Classic Contender for it to be worth it. Yeah, I agree. Like it's very attractive for Contender, and particularly because Classic Contender cards are like the non in-season Contender cards, and I don't mean like just classic cards, but the players who do not have in-season cards. Wendell's one of them. Like, I don't know what Wendell's classic, $5. Jeez. I mean, he's also been terrible and can go back to Brazil at any time. I bet Douglas Santos, what is he, 30? 30 seems like a lot, but people are kind of crazy sometimes. Yeah, $32 for a Wendell. Oh, 23 is the last sale. I mean, Douglas Santos is a beast. Yeah. So Andreas says you don't have to view the arena as an alternative to Classic. You can have enough cards to play both competitively. Totally agree. But I don't know if there are enough people who are willing to build out their Classic gallery to play the arena. And I think that's what it probably comes down to. Sam Tide, loving the look of this game mode. Yeah, no, Sam, I know you've loved it since the second it came out. So thanks. I appreciate you coming in and sharing that with other people. Yeah. It's only versus 9 people, so should make it so your team won't be so good in theory anyway. Yeah, or you don't need to. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to have the super teams, or if you do have super players, you're almost like guaranteeing yourself a win. I mean, which like you can't actually guarantee yourself a win, but let's see here. Well, actually, let's just go to literally the player rankings. I'll go L40 and Biscagli's $13. Jeez. These are actually much higher than I thought. 55 for Geikers. Oh, wait, let me floor price is what I want. Like a Barco is $25 in Classic. Well, obviously Classic, but like this card is $25. It's probably unplayable in a cap mode. And so I guess that's the other, I keep kind of forgetting about that it's a cap mode, which I think is quite attractive as well. It makes the game part of it a lot, I don't want to even say fairer, but I think it levels the field a little bit. I don't know. Halligan said, missed the start of the show, but excited for the arena, mostly for the opportunities it unlocks going forward. This is just the first iteration and it's already decent. And Jono said, they're giving people more ways to play and more potential lineups to make. All of this extra gamification is, in my opinion, vital to the growth of the game. It's funny that you think that, Jono, because sometimes I think they're gamifying it too much and that they haven't figured out if they want to be a game or a fantasy platform. And doing both feels like it's getting a little sloppy. Halligan said, imagine, for example, they do a special Premier League arena where the winner gets a ticket into a special comp, a la the Streaks competition in MLS. I mean, you could just do it as a giant bracket. You know, if there are 128 arenas and all bracketed out, and the winner of each one just keeps moving and moving and moving. Oh my God, that's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea. They should absolutely do that. Let's see what else we got here. Salah 32, Hakimi 36. This is actually a lot more than I thought. Cherky 26. Look at you people spending all this money on limited cards. Shaqiri is $8. Oh my goodness, you people. Mahrez. There's Romelu, who doesn't have it limited cards. Dembele. Yeah, I mean, you could. They're actually. I was going to say you could have like the best cards for nothing. And these aren't nothing actually. This is actually much more than I thought limited cards were going for. There's Malcolm. Maybe he'll come back. Like Vonacek is $5. But again, like these are the guys that are hard to play in the arena because of their L15. Berardi, he really came back down to earth, huh? Yeah. I think it's super interesting. And I think absolutely more people would play it if you didn't have to spend essence to enter. And meaning I think there are probably a lot of people who want to play and just don't have enough essence to do it. But maybe it's exactly what So Rare need in order for people to want to play other competitions to win essence. And it's probably a gigantic positive for So Rare if that's what we want to win. You feel bad for the people that win tier fours and they're like, I would have rathered 7 essence or 10 essence so that I know that I could play in the arena. But that's a interesting accounting problem that So Rare are going to have to face. But I think uh, the way there, yeah, is super interesting. Super interesting. And again, with if you're not necessarily and buying the stars like all of these guys, I mean, I sorted this by L40, but even if you just go to L15, like Barco and Messi and Andres Martin and Cherky, these guys are basically unplayable. Who the hell is Akram Afif? It's just smashing his face off for Qatar and Frontale. Or Al Saad, excuse me. There he is. Anyway, but so if you are entering the arena and not really having to face these guys, or you are, it's because there's some L15 cheat code, or they're people just threw in guys who aren't going to, who are going to be terrible, literally bad players with these good players. It kind of ticks all the boxes that people are looking for, other than like a gigantic jackpot prize, which theoretically it is there, knowing that if you get into this golden arena, and you can win a lot more. It's the the So Rare, world championship, or just like a bigger competition in order to win something bigger. Like I think the biggest thing that they're going to have to address with this one, and I'll take credit for this right now. I think at some point people are going to get bored of using essence to win essence. And if the game is really fun, people are going to be doing that, winning essence in order to keep playing the arena and not crafting cards. But at some point, it's just like, okay, I won 200 essence, so now I can enter the arena 20 times, but I'm just doing this to win more essence. And I feel like that can get boring after a while. Because again, like if you win 250 essence, you get up to 250 and you want to craft the card, now you have to go win essence in pro again. And I wonder if that part of the loop is where people are like, and they just give up, or people just keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and then they get up to 500 and they actually don't craft because they want to keep playing. You get up to 650 and it's like, all right, now I can play the arena 10 times, 15 times technically, and then craft a tier 1. I don't know. It'll be fun to watch kind of like what people do. And particularly the people who are like, this is the optimal way to do it. And we're like, yeah, but did Peter Stoyanov say that? And somebody will be like, no, I did it on my own. And we're like, all right, well, we'll just wait until Peter tells us if it's the right thing to do. And then MPen will come out with this article like, it's fun, but man, it's a really bad idea for you guys to do this that you've been doing this whole time. But hey, YOLO, because this is a fun game. And then we just come back to the beginning. Sir Samurai is looking for the best of Europe comp. Didn't even have it for the Champions League semis. I enjoyed that comp. I don't know where it went because I never played it. Andreas said, percent stacking, a good matchup for a middling team is definitely the best strategy. Yeah, Andreas definitely thinks that yes. Andreas may have sent me some lineups and definitely looking at that way. They should have put in credits in there, not XP. It makes sense as well as you can use classic cards. So rewarding credits would promote buying in season, which fits with the current model of the game. So Sam, I'll push back on this. Rewarding XP means you are more likely, or you'll have more powerful cards in classic competitions that will allow you to score more points and therefore win better rewards in Classic, which are basically in-season cards. Yeah, I don't know why credits doesn't get in anywhere, but it's just the lack of credits in Classic is still very strange to me, particularly now that I saw somebody got an email today. I'm like looking for my I just got mine. My credits will expire in 2 days. Really? For MLB? I have $74 of credits right now that are expiring in 2 days. And I really don't want to spend $74. But somebody shared that they got 100 euro credit just in an email, and then somebody else was like, "Oh, I got 150," and it was like, man, they are really giving out a ton of market credits. And so, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm literally looking to see if I got any. But it doesn't seem like I did. Heaven forbid. Oh well. Bummer, dude. Man, Santiago Sosa is so expensive still. Sorry, checking my email. I got an email about how his card was on auction and it ended 14 minutes ago. Yeah, who uses XP on classics? I'd rather have more chances at winning money, not cards. So it's funny you say that. I totally ignored the fact that you don't have to use the XP on the classic cards. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, Holty, you're absolutely right. You're right. So that's where you win the credits. David, you can enter the Discord. It's through the Patreon. There's like a membership or an app or an apps thing, and there you can link it to Discord, and then it should automatically get you in based on your membership. But if you just want to drop me a DM on Discord, I can walk you through it after the stream. I'm actually stopping in 3 minutes so I can watch my Wendirk Cup MFL match. I didn't think you guys, you're here for Sorare. I don't need to push MFL on you anymore, even though, if you're interested in MFL, I've got a referral code that you guys can use to get in. Spend $25 after you use my referral code and you'll get a free common card up and running. The season did start today, though, so you're not going to have a lot to do if you join today. There's probably late registration. I don't know how long that lasts. In fact, there's definitely late registration. So you can certainly get in. I love it. So I can't find it, but we'll look again. Let me see if I can find it. Patreon. I know this is riveting chat for all of you guys. Somebody talked about it. It's mostly done this way so that anybody who's in the disc or anybody who is a member just has immediate access, and it's not like you have to. Oh, okay, here we go. Who was it, David? David, just go into Patreon and go to settings and then apps. And then there's a Discord link, and that'll get you right in. So yeah. Kika said, I believe the Sorare MLB market credits through email are 2% of the last week's spend. Maybe it's 5%, something between 2 and 5. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. If market credits are rewards and they give them out to random people, then something doesn't feel right about that. I don't think the people are necessarily random, but it does seem like they could. Why not just give them to classic competitions? Why is that such a hard thing to do? Because people who play classic are not really incentivized as much to buy in-season cards, and I think that's what they want people to do. Although they are now creating this new mode where you just want to buy classic cards. But again, in-season is where you win the most essence. And so if you really want to like grind to win the most amount of essence, in-season is where you do it. Yeah. I'm going to cut this right now that it's been exactly 60 minutes. So that sorry, I got $80 in MLB the other week and didn't use them. It seemed like a waste. Give them to people who actually play the comp. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it gets you to buy cards. Sometimes it doesn't. And expired market credits mean nothing to them. So it's fine. It's fine. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Match starts in 5 minutes. So yeah, I'm going to go and watch my MFL match. I'm going to be in the When Dirkcast live chat later. I think that starts in 2 hours and 45 minutes if you're here live, celebrating the first day of season 5 of MFL. And so, yeah, if you're interested in joining MFL, there's a link in the description of this video. If you're watching this live, it's actually not there. I'm going to hurriedly add it after this. But it's a great game. Check it out. But also, if you're more interested in just supporting more Sorare content, patreon.com/AndrewMlair, the best place to do that. So appreciate everybody who has already joined. And for anyone who is thinking about it, just jump in, check out the Discord. We're all just hanging out, having a good time. So thank you everybody for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny. And Mike said go outside first. I would actually say join the Patreon first, because within the Patreon, there is a Sorare Steps group where we all compete every day. And by compete, I mean we just walk and then we see how many steps everyone else took. But there's a nice motivation to help you get outside. And if that's not enough motivation, I'm just going to tell you right now, make sure you go outside.